And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy FlyIslandGuy. Today we are starting a brand new adventure, brand new series here on the FlyIslandGuy channel. And it's one that I've been excited about, and I've mentioned it a couple times in previous videos, but this one is called the Kokomo Run. So what's the Kokomo Run all about? You probably heard the music in the intro, and that is all about the song Kokomo. I believe it was originally created by the Beach Boys. The first time I heard it was through Sesame Street, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But I thought it'd be a cool idea to make a flight plan based off of that song. So we know how the lyrics go. You know, Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, right? So we're gonna fly the Kokomo Run. Today we are in Aruba. Let's get onto the flight deck. And we are in the C510 Citation Mustang from Corsair. And I've had this plane for a while. This plane has been out for a long time. But I never actually had the chance to fly it. So we're going to take it for a spin. Depending on how long the route is, we might switch to different aircraft, but right now we are going to be doing this leg of the run in the Mustang. We are here in Aruba. We're going to be heading over to Manley International, Aruba, Jamaica. And because of Montego Bay is specifically mentioned in the song, today we're going to fly to Kingston. So, according to SimBrief, our cruise altitude for today is going to be 36,000 feet. So, we're going to get that dialed in, and it's actually going to take forever to do. So, I might skip ahead a little bit until we get that done. We already have our flight plan in, and the flight today we are looking at just under 2 hours. Now, while we're getting this done, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it at 10,000 for now. We'll continue up to 36,000 feet once we get in the air, because this is taking a really long time. I'm going to bring up windy.com just to see what the weather is looking like here in the Caribbean. That's what I'm excited about as well. Back in the Caribbean, you guys know how much I love flying down here. So this is where we're going to be heading. Kingston, 29 degrees, looks like not much in the way of weather, and here we are down in Oranjestad, I believe that's how it is pronounced. Oranjestad. Don't know. I've actually been to Aruba before, and I'll just talk about that in a little bit. But this is where we are. As I said, the weather looks good overall, but woo, it's messy over here in Central America and in South America as well. So kind of glad we're not doing any South America tour flights today. All right, so let's get back to the Mustang, and my apologies if you hear me coughing. I'm getting over a cold, and it actually kind of makes me want to cough when I talk. But yeah, so we are going to get the flight director on. I'm also going to go ahead and adjust our altimeter to match the barometric pressure. As I said, we're going to continue putting our altitude up to 36,000 feet. Once we get in the air, once we get our autopilot on, we can go ahead and dial that all the way to the top. But right now, let's get ready to get the aircraft started. I believe all that we have now to do is just remove the wheel chocks. Yes, wheel chocks are still on. So we're going to hit off. Wheel chocks are now gone, and we're going to go ahead and get the aircraft started. So I'm going to get left and right gen turn on, and I'm kind of just doing this from memory a little bit. Didn't have our nav lights on. Beacon come on as well. And yeah, we'll go. Let's do right ignition, and we'll start our right engine. Interesting thing with this aircraft is it's hard to actually reach the little knobs here to actually bring the throttle up to idle. Once you do that, you should get proper engine start. Let's go outside and let's do the engines real quick as it gets started up. All right, that is sounding absolutely awesome. We'll go ahead and do the left engine now, get that started as well. Oops. Now, this plane sounds absolutely amazing. Let's get the left throttle up and running. Left engine is starting up. Just gonna wait for it to hit the green before we continue. Now, I have tested this aircraft out a little bit. I haven't done a full flight in it though, and it had some weird issues with the autopilot. Now, I don't know if that's specific to this aircraft because I've seen the same issues as well flying the ATR, where the plane starts to bank left and right. Very much so. Then we have our engine started now. So let's see. All right, I hope I wasn't muted all that time. I believe I was probably muted all that time, so I hope not. But if I was muted all that time, I'll find out when I do the recording. We'll go ahead and we'll skip ahead now, like where we are. We've started the engines, so you guys might have seen that happening. Engines are started, so we'll go ahead and switch our ignitions back to norm. Okay. And I think outside of that, we are good to go. Our pitot heat warning light is on, so let's get that on. Yeah. So fuel boost, I believe there is this checklist here, so I'm just gonna check. Oxygen supply is pushed in, so I think we got that. Yeah, it's not much in here. Things are pretty light as far as the checklist is concerned, but engines are started, so I think we're about ready to taxi. So here in Aruba, we're going to be taxiing according to SimBrief. We're going to be departing runway 11. Runway 11 is going to be kind of going from right to left. If you look at the flag is looking pretty stiff going on that way, so yeah, we know we have to be covered back this way to take off. All right, so engines are started. Let's go ahead and remove our parking brakes and let's get moving, folks. So I'm loving this aircraft mainly because the screen is nice. The windscreen or the windshield is nice and large, so we're going to get an awesome view on departure. So as I mentioned before, I have been here before, although somewhat briefly. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, I've been here before somewhat briefly, like pretty much just to mainly just to just stop. So this is back in the day when ALM was still an airline. I used to fly DC-9s, and so the DC-9s used to stop in Aruba before heading to Curacao, and also stop in Curacao before leaving Aruba. My grandparents live, well, my grandmother now, grandfather's passed away, they live in Aruba. That's how they live in Curacao. So Curacao is part of the ABC Islands. That's Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So that's where they stay. So yeah, I have been to Aruba before, which is pretty cool. Throat is killing me. It's so hard to talk without coughing. So what we will do is we're just going to reach the end of the runway here. We're going to line up, and then we're going to get out of here, folks. Climbing to 36,000 feet. Set our flaps for takeoff. And here we are at the end of the runway. Runway 11. Don't see anything coming. So we're just gonna start turning and getting ready for takeoff. Now, I think I'm not a big fan of depth of field, I believe is what it's called. Makes the cockpit look all weird and elongated, so not a huge fan of that. But we're gonna have to deal with it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and line up on the runway. Looks like one of the aircraft in the distance is getting ready to take off as well. Okay, parking brakes on. So get our landing lights on. Anti-collision lights can come on as well. Let's do our before takeoff checklist real quick. Avionic cooling fans on. Fuel quantity is good. Takeoff data is confirmed. FMS and flight director, what we'll do is get nav on. CDI source is GPS. Good to go. So yeah, nav on. And we'll just hold the heading as well for takeoff. Good to go. All right, pressurization is already set. Electrics and elevator trim. Check the set. Flaps are set for takeoff. Windshield anti-ice switches. Let's get those guys on as well. We don't need it though because it's super hot out here. But we'll turn those on anyway. Pitot and static switches are on. And ECAS check. We are good to go, folks. Let's get out of here. So we see JetBlue off to our left, coming in for takeoff. So takeoff in this aircraft is simple. Just kind of push the throttles all the way up to the top to take off, and we get out of here. That is all. All right, takeoff power is set. Got to switch off toggle mode as well. There we go. Looking for 95 knots, which we've hit. Rotates. And away we go, folks. Gear up. Let's see, did I send any views before? Yes, we did. just gonna say goodbye to Aruba. Amazing view, folks. Beautiful. All right. So let's follow the flight director for now. And we'll put our throttles to climb power. I'll just drop the nose a little bit so you can maintain climb speed. All right, and let's get our autopilot on. Flaps up. And let's just enjoy the view a little bit more as we climb out. It looks amazing. Is anybody in the cabin? Yeah, there's one lady here. She's enjoying herself. Look at her. You see that smile? Amazing smile. So she's our early passenger for today. And so she's going to be enjoying herself in the back. All right. I think when we set toggle mode, took off our nav. So just switching our nav on now, and we're making the turn. This is the view of Aruba from above, looking absolutely stunning. I love the Caribbean, folks, and I love how Microsoft Flight Simulator has brought the Caribbean to life. When I was flying on X-Plane 11, I just used to hate how bare the Caribbean looked. Okay, so it looks like JetBlue is taking off in the distance as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set actually we're going to climb to 36,000. See if we could dial that in. And I'll go flight level change as well. And what we'll do is, right now, flight level change is going to be holding 136 knots. I think I'm going to dial that up to, say, about 160 knots. Or we could do like 180 as well. Whoops. What is happening? What did I just press? Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna come out of here for a sec. Drop our nose just a little bit. Let's get our speed back up again. Let's go autopilot back on. Let's do flight level change, and we'll do 160 knots. That should be better. Just messed up some a little bit. All right, that's looking a lot better. That'll give us a better climb rate as well, or a more reasonable climb rate. And I've set my altitude to 36,000 feet. So now we are officially good to go. Alrighty, folks. So kind of messed that up a little bit. It's a little awkward. What I want to see is if I have, like, I know this has VNAV capabilities, so I just want to see if we have like a top of descent on here. So I think that is it there, but that seems it seems a little close. Seems a little close. So I don't 100% trust that. I thought that top of descent would be a little further out. Let's see, ambient to MLY, if you look at the flight plan. So ambient to MLY is 209 nautical miles. So, and I'm just doing some definite there's really some definite eyeball math here, so do not trust it. So let's say 210 nautical miles. It looks like about 80% of the way is when the top of descent starts. So just gonna bring up the calculator real quick and see what that leads to. 0.8 times C210 is 168 nautical miles, so 210 minus 168. Goes 42 nautical miles out, roughly. So it's going to be starting roughly 40 nautical miles, 35, 40 nautical miles out. So yeah, that seems about good enough, I guess. So we're going to give it a try. Hopefully we don't have to do something aggressive to actually get down properly, but hopefully things will turn out better than did before when I last tested this aircraft out. Okay, so we will go transition altitude. We crossed 10,000 feet a long time ago, so landing lights can come off. And I think we are good to go, folks. Aircraft has impressive climb performance. We're doing about 2,300 feet over 21,000. So this is going to be interesting flight, folks. So what we will do is we will get we'll come back when we've started our descent into Kingston, get this aircraft landed. Hopefully things will go well. All right, first leg of the Kokomo tour, Aruba to Kingston. Let's see how things go, folks. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have started our descent into Kingston, Jamaica. If you look over to our right, as you can see, we are now actually crossing mainland Jamaica. Airport that I've come to a number of times in the past on this channel. Absolutely love flying into Jamaica. It's an area I'm very familiar with, both in real life and in the sim. Let's take a quick look at our approach today as we come in. So we are going to be doing the ILS runway 12 approach here in Kingston, and right now the approach is basically taking us to this MLY VOR, after which we are going to kind of head out and we're going to do a DME arc out to Kino. Then we're going to intercept the IMLY, ILS, and come in for a landing on runway 12. So we are doing our VNAV descent right now. Let's head back up to the flight deck. We actually crossed 10,000, so let's get our landing lights on. And sorry, as I mentioned, we are heading towards Norman Manley International now. If you look straight ahead, that is Norman Manley just above our nose right here. So we're going to be crossing out and then kind of coming out left, making a turn, heading back down to land on runway 12. As you can see, the approach lights there for runway 12, or runway 12, which is pretty awesome. City of Kingston off here to our right. Should show up a little better as we get closer down. So we've actually tuned our ILS frequency 109.1. That is tuned right here. We have it in nav 1 and nav 2. We just have to set our CDI or our nav source basically, just to make sure we are on the right path. And so right now our descent is having us come down to 4,000 feet. I believe when we hit the VOR, we have to be, I think, over 5,000 feet or above. Then we're going to descend to 4,000. I'm going to stay on 4,000 to do that DME arc before we come in to land on runway 12. Let's see what's happening here on the checklist. Let's do our descent checklist. First, pressurization is good. Anti-ICDA systems as required. Altimeters have already been set. Right now it's reading 29.8. Landing data, we have that all set as well. I'm just going to slow down a little bit. Still moving pretty quick. We have a bit of a tailwind right now. It's going to be a perfect headwind. We come in to land. We've already set our minimums from a while back. We did have them set before. I'm not sure where they are now, but definitely did set them. Let's see. I believe our minimums were at about 280 feet. Judging by how beautiful the weather is right now, I don't think we're actually going to need to worry about doing a missed approach. And we're going to have visibility all the way down to the ground, which is awesome. Still coming in a little hot right now. So I'm just going to turn down the throttle just a little bit so we can slow down, get ourselves prepared for final approach. Wow, look at the water. That is looking absolutely amazing. Once we start this part of the approach, we're returning towards Kino. As we're getting closer, starting that turn, we'll switch to the CDI source to nav 1. Hopefully we'll be able to intercept the ILS and come in for a landing. Just gonna keep an eye on the speed just a little bit. Let's take a look out the window on the right, see if you get a better view of Kingston. Absolutely amazing. I was actually in Jamaica last year, and well, no, not last year, beginning of this year. We were over in Montego Bay, sorry. So I haven't been to Kingston in a long time, but definitely both very beautiful approaches. Let's take a quick look at the weather while we're here. As you can see, it's awesome. Not much to report. As we saw earlier, when we checked windy.com, not much in the way of weather here today. So let's see what we have going on. Visibility, the winds are at 140 at 58 knots. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. Definitely a lot more. Few clouds, 2,200 feet. Temperature is a warm. Strike that bomb. Strike that totally hot 32 degrees C. VFR conditions all the way through. So I'm gonna have fun landing here. This is gonna be my first time landing here in the Citation Mustang, so I'm hoping all that goes just fine. And once we start our turn, I'm going to start getting configured for landing. Go flaps 15 or set our takeoff flaps. We're just taking our time now. Looks like we are already below our flap extension speed. We still do have a pretty healthy tailwind right now. It seems to be gusting up to 15 or 16 knots at times. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a gusty wind there. So you gotta keep an eye on that. We'll probably have to manage our speed a little bit better when we start our final approach. All in all, though, I haven't had too much issues with the Citation Mustang. Very similar to the Citation in general. Very easy to fly. No real issues. Kind of once you understand the systems, it's very, very easy to operate. And from my tests earlier as well, once you do the landings, it operates really well at low speeds. Okay, so it looks like we're about to start our turn. Heading towards the intercept waypoint. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Jamaica, always absolutely beautiful. Awesome place to land. Awesome place to come to. And you know how much I enjoy my island flying. I'm gonna go ahead, set takeoff flaps. Once we get established on the localizer, assuming I do it correctly, we could do our before landing checklist. Aircraft looks like it's struggling a little bit to stay on the flight path. That's okay though. So not really used to doing an approach from this direction, from the south. Normally I end up flying over the mountains if I'm going to be landing on runway 12, or doing a more, or I'm coming in from the north and landing on runway 30. So yeah, never done runway 1 to approach from the south. So this is actually the first time I'm doing this approach. So we're gonna see how it turns out. Hopefully FSLTL doesn't have an aircraft landing on the runway at the same time as us, because I will assure you that I'm just going to continue landing. I just need to get this flight done. Well, I know it's not realistic, but it is what it is. All right, just slowly bleeding off speed. We're coming to our gear extension speed as well, which is good. Just gonna keep our airspeed up for now. I'm gonna do about probably maintain around maybe 140 knots or so. So as soon as we hit D300, we're heading towards Kino, so our D3000. And we're going to be heading towards Kino. That's when I'm going to go ahead and switch our CDI source to nav 1, and then we'll hit approach mode, and hopefully things will go well. Airport is off to our 3 o'clock. That's it right there. All right, and we're actually starting the turns. Let's get our CDI source. We'll set it to Loc 1 and we'll go approach. Should we switch it? Oh, there we go. I didn't actually have it active. Thought I did. There we go. Should be captured the localizer soon. Did not do it properly. So it's just gonna turn to capture the localizer now. I didn't realize active is on this side, on the right side. So it's all good though. All right, so we are kind of bang on the glide slope, which is good. A little on the faster side. Localizer has us lining up now as well. So just gonna ease back on the throttles. And let's slow down a little more. When we get to the side bug waypoints, we're gonna drop our landing gear. So we're coming in a little on the fast side now. And we have a little bit of energy, or a little too much energy coming in, which I don't want. What we can do is do our before landing checklist. Windshield, anti-ice, those are supposed to come off. Seatbelts, tray tables are stood. Landing lights are on. Flaps set to land. Probably brought this out a little bit early. It's okay. So we're getting that landing gear warning. All right, let's go ahead and let's just shut that up. Gear down. Okay, in transition, looking for 3 greens. Looking good. All right. All right, let's go ahead and switch the yaw damper off as well. Looks like it's already off. Let's check our speed. Let's pick it up a little bit because we're pretty slow right now. So as I said, we're going to have to be real careful with our speed management because we have a pretty strong headwind now. And it's kind of all over the place. So we're gonna have to ride our throttles a little bit. This is gonna be a little tough to do. Because it's kind of all over the place right now with the numbers. But we have a lot of runway to work with. We're in a small jet, so we're a little fast. It's not a big deal as well. Get a little bit of bump and chop on the way in. This is it, folks. This is the real deal. We're going to come in for the landing. I know the ILS in Kingston's a little weird as well. Like, it doesn't go straight down the runway. So we have to kind of keep an eye out for that. Sort of has us coming in at an angle. And I'm too fast again. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over from here. Actually, yaw damper on. Actually, no, it's supposed to be off. Autopilot is off. This is my aircraft. Lots of boats and stuff in the harbor. Just gonna keep an eye on my glide path, my speed. Trying to apply a little bit of right rudder, just a little bit. Because we don't have a crosswind. Actually, we have a straight headwind, but we are sort of getting, I see the nose getting blown to the left a little bit. And we're a little low, so, we're very low. Just gonna stay on top of that. Wow, so much boats out here. So much boats. $500 feet. We're across over minimums. And we are over the threshold. Look to settle down. Not too hard. Scared to land. And there we go. little off center, but that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Norman Manley International. Fortunately, it's trying to cause some stutter with the graphics, which is a little annoying. But here we are. So, just gonna come off and find a nice little place to park over here. Lots of airlines in today. I see lots of Swoop aircraft out here, which is a little outdated because Swoop just shut down all of its operations here in Canada. It's being absorbed by WestJet, so Swoop is going to cease to exist. But I see Air Canada, I see American Airlines, I see Spirit Airlines here, although I won't be taking that. Alrighty, so landing lights can come off. Just gonna come around the side here. What is with all this stuttering? It's annoying. Alright, we're just gonna park around the back here. Or probably in this area. Oh my boy, this stuttering is killing me. Alright, let's just park right back here. Kind of glad the stuttering happened on the ground and not where you're trying to land. But yeah, we're gonna just stop here. There's most likely this airport has some issues with it. All right, Marshall is bringing us in. And we are gonna stutter our way to parking. All right, and there we go. All right, that's it, folks. Chocks can come on. Let's see. You can open our cargo doors. And we'll cut the engines. There we go. Alrighty. That is it, folks. Hope that you guys enjoyed the flight. Let's get a little outside view. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with this airport. I'm not sure what it is. But this is it, folks. Oh, I didn't open the door either. Gotta let the passengers out, right? All right. Here we go. That's more like it. Alrighty, folks. So, hope you guys enjoyed the flight. My apologies for the stuttering. We reached Jamaica. We're taxiing here. Not sure what's going on there, but that is it for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you see fit. More from the Kokomo Run will be coming soon, but we'll also be back in South America flying around there as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. This is your boy FlyIslandGuy saying stay safe, but most importantly, stay fly. I'm out. Peace.